How dire are the consequences of a mistake? A mistake, by definition, an action or judgment that is misguided or wrong. But for me, a mistake meant a lot more than that. In a world where a simple mistake can mean the end, a single slip up would be all it takes for it to be over. And I would soon realize how brutal a simple mistake could be. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. In the previous episode, we built a raid farm, giving us totems and a lot of emeralds. So now I decided it would be a good time to industrialize the village. So let's start with making a villager breeder. We'll first have to get some resources. Then, after getting all the wood we'd need, we could begin construction on the villager breeder. This villager breeder only requires 2 villagers and can make 2 babies each day. And once the babies are made, they'll try to go to some beds nearby, but they can't. And they'll fall into a water stream below. And once they grow up, they'll suffocate in the top slab. They'll suffocate in the top slab and be pushed by water into a villager collecting area. In the villager collecting area, we can use minecarts and a rail system to transport villagers wherever we need. With all those villagers, I wanted to make an efficient iron farm. You see, an iron farm only requires 3 villagers, but with 4 pods with 3 villagers in them each, and with a spawning platform that instantly teleports iron golems to the nether, where they'll be killed, we can make a really fast iron farm, producing 1200 iron per hour, which would be plenty of iron I'd need for now. And with the excess villagers, we can zombify them and trade some iron for emeralds. But for now, let's start with getting some resources like obsidian, with a very unnecessary time lapse. Wow, isn't this just amazing content? You all should subscribe. Okay, enough selling out. Now here's a time lapse of building the iron farm. We're going to start with the portals, which will teleport the iron golem to the killing chamber in the nether. Then, we'll have to start building the villager pods. Each villager pod will have 3 villagers in them, where a zombie will see them and try and scare them. But they'll be stuck in their pod, and they'll call out for an iron golem for help. Help me! But the iron golem will be teleported into the nether portal, where they'll fall into a lava chamber below, and this cycle repeats over and over and over, giving me a crap ton of iron. I actually hadn't built a portal-based iron farm before, so I was really hoping it'd work out the first time. Speaking of subscribing, Infinite Avocado and I are in a sub race to 1,000 subscribers. And right now he's decently ahead, but I know we can catch up, so consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it and it'd mean a lot to me. But anyways, now it was time for the tedious step of moving the zombies into their pods. And this turned out to be a lot harder than I expected. Okay, 1 down and I just need to... Okay, I got another guy, so I just need you to come over here really quick before the iron golem oh my... Okay, let's try that again. Boop. No, iron golem, stop, please. No, no. Bruh. Alright, this should be the last one. Please get in, please. Oh my gosh, just get in already, man. Please. Oh my, come on, this has got to be the one. Please. Oh, I don't care. Thank you. Oh my goodness, you were so annoying. Ugh. Okay. Got a name tag you, and we're good. And we get to do that all again. I'm so excited to do that. Why were you so annoying to get in there? Okay. Got another one. I got the ultimate strap. Hit him with the jukes. Hit him with the basketball moves. Oh, ankles. Alright, and the iron golem will be out of the way. So just gotta name tag you and cover you up. And finally, after getting all the zombies in their pods, all I had to do was complete the nether part of the collection system. Then, I went to go AFK in the overworld for a little while. And shortly after, I went to go check on the farm.
Alright, so I just got back from AFK in the farm. And... oh shit. Alright. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. That was only like half an hour. So, not too bad.
And with that staggering success, I decided it was time to go loot some end cities. But this would be my biggest mistake yet. You see, while I was raiding those end cities, this happened. Ooh. Ooh. What just happened? Oh, I must have died. But how? It all happened so fast. I can't believe it. I just lost it all. Just like that? Is it really all over? No, it couldn't be. I wasn't gonna allow it. I wasn't going to give up that easily. I wasn't gonna lose just like that. I'm going to get it back, no matter what. And so began the process of creating dozens of worlds. But mistake after mistake after mistake. This challenge was harder than I remembered. It always seemed I could get so far, but yet I'd fall short. But things soon turned around for me. I went to the end and had slain the Ender Dragon. I had done it. Now, all I had to do was leave the End City with all the loot I got, pack it up, and make my way back to the Overworld. And there, I had an Enderman farm waiting, so I had a game plan ready. All it took was that one mistake for it to be over. As simple as placing some blocks in the middle of the end platform. Those dozens of worlds slowly became hundreds, and it was beginning to look hopeless that I'd never get to the point that I once was at. But then, an unexpected change would happen. It was just like any other ordinary world. I spawned on the beach and made my way to the ocean. There, I found a shipwreck and looted it for iron and other resources. I continued to traverse the ocean. Nearby was a village. At the village, there was also a blacksmith, which I looted for some more resources, and killed an iron golem. But what was beyond the village changed everything. A pillager outpost. Right next to a village. Right by spawn. This was huge. I'd never been in a situation like this before. But at that moment, I had to make a decision. I decided I was going to change something and give this world an opportunity. You see, normally I try to speedrun the game. This is so I can head to end cities, which hold two very valuable resources: enchanted diamond armor and shulker boxes. But with the outposts, I got an idea. Instead of trying to speedrun the world and risk dying very fast, now I had an opportunity to go slower and take my progression a little differently. So we'd have to break this up into a couple of steps, starting with getting some emeralds. Before we can get some emeralds though, we'll need to gather a lot of wood. And to do that, we'll definitely need to craft a diamond axe. And after doing that, it's time to get chopping. Now that we got all the wood we need, we can go trade with some Fletchers, and try to level up an armorer in the process. And very quickly, I was able to obtain my first couple pieces of diamond armor. But I still had to be careful, because monsters were nearby, and I couldn't afford to lose it now. But I still had to do a bit more trading before I could get full diamond. And just like that, we got full diamond very fast, without even having to mine. So, it was time to move on to the next phase of the plan. After looking on YouTube, I found a raid farm that I wanted to use. So, let's start gathering some resources. Oh wait, my computer ran out of storage, and this is the only clip I have of me actually gathering the resources. Anyways, I've got everything, so let's start building the raid farm. We're going to start by heading out to the ocean nearby. We're going to make sure we're nowhere near land, and pillar up with sand. We'll place lava, making lava casts to the ground below. Once that's done, we can start building this glass layer, which will be where the pillagers will spawn. In the corner, a dispenser will shoot out some water. Then, with this contraption, we can turn on and off the dispenser. We'll make an area where we'll have the killing chamber. And with that, all we need is a villager and the farm is complete. But now came the make or break moment. I would have to get Bad Omen.
Don't mess it up. Just have a silly flag on your head. That's all I ask. Captain, police. We're back, and I'm ready for round 2. Please give me. Oh, hi. You don't know that to turn. I have to recap. I see him. Yes. Okay, we're done.
And with that, we can finally test to see if the raid farm works. And boom! It works just as planned. Water pushes the pillagers down a chamber. The Ravengers don't fit and are burnt in lava, while the pillagers and evokers are an easy kill. And the best part is, from killing the captains again in the raid, I can infinitely get Bad Omen and use the farm over and over and over. Now I had an easy source of emeralds and totems. After that success, I built a villager breeder, which would give me tons of villagers over time. Then I built a really simple iron farm. I was too lazy to make a complicated one, so I went with this one. And to this day, it still serves me well. Sometimes, a simple design is all you really need. While only producing 250 iron per hour, it'd be good enough for now. And the final touch was some natural resource farms. After all that, I went for a gold farm, because I would need golden apples, which would give me 2 temporary bonus hearts, which would give me a huge buffer zone. So, let's start making a gold farm. First, we're going to mine out this huge section, and build another portal in the middle. Then, we'll repeat the process a step higher. This is a pretty big area to mine out, but you'll see why it's necessary soon. Once all the netherrack's mined out, we're going to set up a bait. You see, we'll use a turtle egg set here to lure pigmen to go into the nether portal. And because of the spot we're AFKing at, pigmen will constantly spawn and constantly go through the portal. Then, we'll need to get above the nether roof and build way up. First, we'll build the travel portal, which will be the portal we go through. Then, we'll make the killing chamber portal, which is where the pigmen will go through. Then we need to return to the overworld, build up a bit, make this portal connecting system, and just like that, we have a super simple gold farm. The player in the nether can then manually kill the pigmen, with looting to get a ton of gold, and it gives a ton of XP. And with all of those farms, I easily got maxed out gear, and I felt confident enough to fight the Wither. I've done this fight before, it's fine. I had practiced this fight in creative before, but in the back of my mind, I knew a simple mistake could be the end of it again. I'm so glad I didn't mess anything up. With that stressful moment out of the way, I could finally craft a beacon. And with the help of the iron farm, I finally had a maxed out beacon. Now, I can use haste to get a bunch of stone bricks, which would be used for a creeper farm, yielding 10 stories tall. This creeper farm can produce an insanely high rate of 3,200 gunpowder per hour. All of this gunpowder could be used for multiple purposes, like fireworks, for when I eventually get an elytra, or TNT, which will be used to mine netherite. It was about time I get an upgrade for my tools and armor. It was almost day 100 by now, so having netherite would be essential. Using TNT, I could blow up big holes in the nether and not have to worry too much about getting burnt. And after collecting a ton of netherite, I managed to get a full set of armor and tools. With that, I felt confident enough to take on the Ender Dragon. So I threw an Eye of Ender, but then I realized it was only day 91. I wanted to fight the dragon on the 100th day, because I think that'd be super cool. So in the meantime, I made a nether highway between the end portal and my home to make travel super efficient. Since it was super easy to get between the two places, I could gather resources from the stronghold and bring them back to my base. Or just get some extra resources from my base and bring it to the stronghold to prepare for the end fight. In the last couple of days, I AFK'd the creeper farm, and with being overly prepared for the fight this time, I jumped into the portal. Oh my gosh, my motion. I think it's... And as a prize for my victory, I collected the dragon egg. Now, I'd make my way to the end cities, to go get elytras and some more loot.
I didn't get my water. No.
As I was exploring, I happened to turn up my chunks, and I got lucky, and this happened.
Oh, yes. Double yes. Oh my gosh, it's so big. Good to go.
Once I was able to find an end city, I could craft shulkers, which would be a huge storage buff. I got an elytra pretty quick, which significantly boosted my efficiency. I was able to travel around just killing shulkers and gathering loot from chests. And I could travel between end cities very fast. Once I was satisfied with the loot I got, I headed back to the overworld. I had stacks of resources from the end cities, and a ton of shulker shells, so I wouldn't need to go back anytime. Now, feeling adventurous, I decided to take on the ancient city. You see, ancient cities have a ton of endgame valuable loot, like enchanted golden apples and the silence trim, one of the rarest trims in Minecraft. But with all this great loot comes a great guard, the warden. Activating the warden would surely be the end for me, so I'd have to be really stealthy and really careful. After a while, I managed to get myself 7 enchanted golden apples, but yet I couldn't find a silence trim. But while I was exploring more ancient cities, I realized I was getting lazy with my totems. I was popping them way too fast. I mean, look at this. I just jumped off a cliff here for no reason and just popped. So instead, I decided to focus on trims. Minecraft trims can add unique designs to your armor, and I needed them because I needed to look extra cool. I already had 2 of the trims that I'd need, so I flew around the ocean looking for shipwrecks. Until eventually, I found the trim. And the only thing I wanted left was that dang silence trim. And I kid you not, it took 12 days, but finally I found it in a chest. Oh my goodness. Now my armor was looking very swaggers, and I was very proud of my armor's looks. I had now achieved a new level of rich. So I gave myself one final challenge. I'm not much of a builder, and I never have been, but I really wanted a base to be proud of. So with the village, I transformed it into this. An upgraded and much more cozy village, with custom houses, pathways, trees, and unique areas. It might not be like other hardcore YouTubers you've seen, but to me it was enough. And after building that, I took a step back and realized how far I'd made it, and how far I've come in the past 6 months. Thank you for watching.